What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld. And a lot of you guys have been asking about, last minute raid sales, Gmias, should we start getting rid of our team and buy it back afterwards? Well, pretty much I'm going to say don't do it, and I'm going to tell you why, right? A lot of what's going to happen is only going to be specific to certain cards. For instance, I'm going to show you something right now. You see, Calvin Johnson being released as part of this situation is going to help the bow-nosed players simply because Calvin is really good. Right? So let me go ahead and point this out to you guys. I've seen him sell for as high as 500k. If you guys notice, when the first release of Bow Nose came out, the players were very expensive, right? Because there was no rerolls, there were no packs. As they released the rerolls and then the packs, the prices have come down. Why have they come down? None of the players that have been released prior to this one really caught a lot of people's fancy. Remember, Calvin Johnson is a 98 speed with the strat cards on any theme team. So let me just go ahead and break it down real quick, right? When you look at the auction house and you start to analyze what's really going on, you can actually lose your shirt if you sell your cards right now because people are not stupid. For the majority of what's going on, it's only specific cards that's going to make you money. A limited Kyle Pitts, certain cards like that. Other than that, you're not really doing much. So you got to be careful with it. Because if you start to go, I'm getting nervous, I got a raid sell, you're going to end up losing, right? So look, you see like how Lynn Swan, Cliff Branch, all these guys are cheap. Then you jump over to Calvin and he's at like 469. This affects the overall market of what people are willing to spend because guess what? Cliff Branch is also a 95. So now it starts to manipulate it, but still the 86s are going to be a little bit higher because everybody knows what you're trying to buy. Prior to Calvin, nobody really cared. I don't even know what Darrell Revis is doing. We could go ahead and check him out as well, right? So let's go see what he's doing. Okay, we got Ty Law. He's also a 99 speed on a theme team as well. You got Darrell Revis over here. So this is what happens at this point. As the cards get better and they keep the same overall, the market starts to get manipulated. So you may notice that you'll put a card up that's the same overall as somebody else's, whatever the other card is, and it won't sell for the same amount. You see what I'm saying? You see like how Ty Law is like 289, and then it starts off with Darrell Revis, and people are buying him for 431. People are going to look to see the name first, right? Then the theme team. So when you look at it like that, and the fact that these cards are now able to get to 99 speed, you're really playing with fire if your players are older. Because you're not going to get that much more for it unless, like I said, it's a limited. So what am I talking about when I say limited? Put it like this, right? When you put in Kyle Pitts, this is what happens, right? His card is really, really valuable because it's a limited and also he's the fastest tight end right now. I sold mine back for like 990 early because I know eventually during this promo that something is going to happen to where they're going to give us another card that's going to be really, really good. Right? So I took my 990 and ran away. I've seen his price go back up. I've seen it skyrocket. I've seen it come down. It's a lot of variation with it. Selling him now would not be bad because the worst case scenario, you get him back later for a little bit more. It's not going to exceed because as this promo goes on and the Ghost are released, prices are going to go down for players that are higher overalls because other players are going to also be similar in numbers to those players. For instance, you may get another Vernon Davis, you could get another Shannon Sharp. When people start looking at the speed aspect of the Ghost players, everything is going to be affected immediately after. So cards like this, you have to be careful if you hold on to them. Because you could make this now and they can release something that's like, oh my God, that card is ridiculous. And then Kyle Pitts just plummets. But how far will he plummet? It depends on the card that they release. So me, because I know that eventually within the next couple of weeks, this guy's value will not be at 1 million coins because they're going to give another tight end during this promo. Look, pretty much what happens with the Ghost players, there's something for every position that makes it OP. So no matter what your position is and what your team is, you're going to have the opportunity to take advantage of cards that are going to be a lot cheaper unless, for whatever reason, they do a special type of limited version of one of the Ghosts, and then that card just keeps and maintains a value for that time being. But this card right here, I'm telling you right now, just be careful with it. Because like I said, I sold mine a couple weeks ago because I just know it's no way he's going to maintain the value and price with these Ghosts coming out. So other cards that you may have that are also limiteds, right? You may be saying to yourself, all right, Gmi, I'm looking at a lot of these other cards and most of them are very, very cheap. Why is that? The reasoning behind it is, again, a guy like CeeDee Lamb, he's good, but he's specific to a Cowboys theme team to get to a 99 speed. So you got to look at the most used theme teams, the Raiders, the Niners, even the Cowboys, whatever. People are not going to be looking to just get the card unless they can maximize what that card can do on their team. So if you have a CeeDee Lamb and you think that selling him now, oh, I'm going to sell him before, whatever, and then buy him back. Dude, what's going to happen is he's going to be around the same price. A lot of these cards are going to be around, like there's no outstanding card to where it's like, oh my God, I have to do it. Look at JC Horn. This was a really good card at one point, and he's down to 295. People understand, so everything that's coming around, Michael Irvin, he's also a really good card. I was getting burnt by him a lot earlier today on a Cowboys theme team. It was wild as hell. Patrick Surtain on a Broncos theme team, he's like 98 speed. There's so much going on, but you have to be smart and not get influenced by what everybody else is doing, but at the same time understanding that you have a plan. Because that's ultimately what's going to happen. Also, this is a newer card that was just released. Joe, and you can see he's selling for $330. Not like the Revis and also Calvin right now because of their name and the teams that they go to. See what I'm saying? So although it's the same overall, it's a great discrepancy, over 100K difference in the price. So you selling your cards right now could put you at a disadvantage. And that's ultimately what it is. It'll be clearly a disadvantage because no matter what happens at this point in the year, it's all going by the next better thing. Like, it's going to have to be a name. Look, 458. He just sold. Same overall, right? So be careful with what you're doing, because if you're looking to just make sure you have enough to get a ghost and you're asking me like, yo, Gmia, what do you think the price of the ghost will be? That's going to be interesting depending on the ghost. I'm thinking right off the top, 800K plus, depending on what the ghost is. If it's a Michael Vick, well over 1 million coins. You know what I'm saying? Because of the name. That's what you have to analyze. Rod Woodson, the Raiders team, Niners, all that stuff, he's going to be like 600-700. Just because it's weird. Like, the ghost players make people go crazy. And right now, you're probably getting antsy because you're hearing about it. Some of you newer viewers that never even heard about Ghost, so you found my channel, you're like, oh my God, you're intrigued. But just understand, if you have a card like Tony Romo, which I told you his price will plummet, if you got rid of him now, that would be a good move. Because he's a more recent card, and you're going to probably get a little bit more bang for your buck. But if you're dealing with cards that are older, I wouldn't even worry about it. Keyshawn Johnson, for crying out loud, he's at 265. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, this is insane stuff that's happening. Somebody just actually got a Jermichael Finley for 288. The market's wild. So you're not going to be able to do much unless you have those specific cards. And that's why I use Kyle Pitts as an example, because he's one of those higher ranked cards. Or even the Gronk, the limited Gronk. If you wanted to sell him to make sure that you got, that you were able to go ahead and obtain one of the ghosts that are coming, I don't think it's smart. And his card is so elusive, exclusive, not elusive, exclusive, that it's still going to maintain that price until they do the redux. But if you needed the coins, this would be an exception. If it's an outdated card that's fluctuating around the same ranges of 300, 400K, do not risk it. Just hold the card and let's see what they release. And worst case scenario, the values are going to still maintain themselves because it goes by the name and the theme team. So if you have a theme team that people are really looking, like I said, the Cowboys, the Raiders, the Niners, the Broncos even are really good theme teams. If you guys have cards that are specific to that, it's no way possible, with the exception of a few cards, that it's going to heavily affect you if you sell your team now versus later. All right? Hopefully this has been informative to you. Definitely go ahead and subscribe, turn on your post notifications, continue to enjoy your holiday, and I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. One love, y'all.